We are 3 weeks out from WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all, and the 35th edition of the Showcase of the Immortals. It's going to be taking place April 7th this year at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. And as we know already, the match card is already beginning to take shape, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. This is Bryan Mullaney from the Inways Variety Channel, and we are going to be going through the WrestleMania 35 match card so far. Starting it off with the first match that was announced for WrestleMania 35, the Universal title match between Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins took the helm as top guy on Monday Night Raw, following Roman Reigns' relinquishing of the Universal Championship back in October. The Architect has faced numerous injuries since then and had a questionable status for WrestleMania altogether, but all is good and Seth Rollins is cleared to compete physically at WrestleMania, despite being dragged down with all of these pointless Shield reunion storylines, as well as the bullshit feud that he had with Dean Ambrose following the Royal Rumble. It's still unclear as to whether or not the big dog will insert himself into the Universal title picture and possibly make this main event at WrestleMania a triple threat match. Brock Lesnar's highly anticipated return to UFC has been put on hold as of late, with WWE offering more and more money each time the Beast is about to leave WWE. It begs the question just whether or not he will retain at WrestleMania, or if he'll end up actually giving the rub to Seth Rollins, relinquishing the Universal Championship in the process. My personal opinion for the Universal Championship match at WrestleMania is Seth Rollins walking out with the championship. Moving on to the match that is highly speculated to be the final match of the event. Although WrestleMania is usually advertised as having multiple main events, everyone knows that there is only one true main event, the last match of the card, and it is highly suggested that it will be this match here. I am talking, of course, about the Raw Women's Championship match, the triple threat that will see the Royal Rumble winner Becky Lynch facing off against Charlotte Flair and Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey. Now, Becky Lynch has been on a meteoric rise since the build-up to SummerSlam, where she would have her face smashed to pieces by Nia Jax and would end up actually having to miss Survivor Series, where she was set to go one-on-one with Ronda Rousey. At that time, with how Becky Lynch's character was developing, you could have highly suggested that the finish to that match would have seen Ronda Rousey tapping out Becky Lynch cleanly to the armbar, thus halting any chance of any momentum being built for Becky Lynch and the soon-to-be man of WWE. Becky Lynch has had roadblock after roadblock put in her way with the hopes of building her up as the ultimate babyface, similar to that of Stone Cold Steve Austin's run. They've already made those similarities clear with this boss against employee mentality, as well as the recurring knee injury, similar to that of Stone Cold's knee injury back in the late 90s. It is highly suggested that Charlotte Flair is going to be the one that actually ends up eating the pin / ends up submitting some way to Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, thus taking Ronda Rousey's loss out of the equation. It is highly suggested that Ronda Rousey is going to be looking to take some time off from WWE following her loss at WrestleMania, with the supposed baddest woman on the planet suggesting that she would like to shift her focus toward building her family. My prediction for the Raw Women's Championship match is that Becky Lynch will walk out with the Raw Women's Championship. As announced this past week on Monday Night Raw, Kurt Angle will be taking place in his final match and will be taking place at the Showcase of Immortals at MetLife Stadium April 7th. Angle stated that since he can't live up to the expectations of that of his 2006 wrestling machine persona that ran wild throughout SmackDown, the former Olympic gold medalist is going to be looking to hang up his boots for good following his match at WrestleMania. His opponent has not yet been announced. It is highly suggested that the man who will be facing Kurt Angle at WrestleMania will be the same man who Kurt Angle had launched his career over 15 years ago on SmackDown. I'm talking about the 16-time world champion John Cena. No match has yet been announced for Cena, or his involvement in WrestleMania has even been suggested at all. Although this would be a great match to see Kurt Angle and John Cena showcase, it is highly suggested that since it is in fact a retirement match, Kurt Angle will likely go out on his back. My prediction for the match: Cena versus Kurt Angle, with Cena going over. We also had the announcement this past Tuesday on SmackDown Live that it will be the Viper Randy Orton taking on the phenomenal one AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Now, this match is already being billed as the ultimate indie guy versus the ultimate prototypical sports entertainer, and we'll see the highly differentiating Styles clash against one another at the Showcase of Immortals. Now, Randy Orton has slowly been on the rise lately as one of the top threats on SmackDown Live, where the phenomenal one AJ Styles has surprisingly been sizzling out as of recently, ever since his loss to Daniel Bryan, where he would forfeit the WWE Championship. With rumors speculating that the phenomenal one will be looking to take some time off from WWE, as well as having a reduced schedule on the Blue brand moving forward, I wouldn't be surprised at seeing AJ Styles losing at WrestleMania, followed by the phenomenal one taking a little bit of time off, allowing other top babyfaces to rise on SmackDown Live, which actually works as a segue into the next match. We have the commissioner of SmackDown Live, Shane McMahon, taking on The Miz in one-on-one competition at the Showcase of Immortals. Now, The Miz has been prominently groomed these past few months as one of the top babyfaces on SmackDown Live, and having him overcome a heel Shane McMahon at WrestleMania will definitely tip him over the edge as being the top face in the SmackDown world. WWE has put a lot of trust into The Miz as of recently, giving him his own reality TV show, a prominent spot on SmackDown Live along with the commissioner of Shane McMahon, along with a brief run with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It's clear to see that Miz's tenure and hard work in WWE is finally paying off, and could see him have a run with the WWE Championship in the near future. If Daniel Bryan is set to be WWE Champion following WrestleMania, and given his history with The Miz, it would be fitting that WWE would already have an opponent ready for the new Daniel Bryan following WrestleMania. My prediction for WrestleMania is that Shane takes the loss as always, and Miz takes the win, moving him up the ladder as a top babyface in SmackDown Live. This Tuesday on SmackDown Live, we'll see Kofi Kingston run the gauntlet in the hopes of earning himself a WWE Championship match at WrestleMania against the new Daniel Bryan. Now, it seemed to have been piecemealed since the start that Kofi Kingston will end up headlining WrestleMania, with his organic rise ever since his replacement of Mustafa Ali in that gauntlet match on SmackDown Live, would see fans get behind Kofi in a huge way, chanting his name in matches that he's not even a part of, and giving him warm welcome after warm welcome every time he would come out to the ring. And with his storyline now involving Vince McMahon, it is highly suggested that the babyface will be looking to overcome all odds at WrestleMania. It is too early to tell right now, but I am making the claim anyway: Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. However, I will say that I truly believe that Kofi Kingston will lose to Daniel Bryan at the Showcase of Immortals. Now, I'm sure that this won't be the end for Kofi Kingston, as I'm sure it'll breathe new life into the New Day, and will give an interesting storyline to the three men moving forward, possibly seeing them turn heel, or possibly even collapsing in on themselves as a whole. My prediction for WrestleMania is that Daniel Bryan leaves with the WWE Championship. Now finally, we have probably the most exciting match of the night, at least in my opinion, from a both nostalgia point of view, from a long-term storyline point of view, and from a just having two badass characters point of view. I am talking about the highly anticipated Batista versus Triple H match. Now, Batista has already had 3 wins over Triple H, as he had mentioned before on the 1000th edition of SmackDown Live, where Evolution would have their brief reunion, where the Animal would begin by making light jabs at Triple H, suggesting that he couldn't get the job done against the Animal Batista. Now, these light jabs would turn very serious, however, a few weeks ago on Raw, as during Ric Flair's 70th birthday party, the Animal Batista would return, attacking the 70-year-old two-time Hall of Famer and asking Triple H if he yet had his attention. Now the rivalry is beginning to come to a boiling point, as the match has been made official as of this past week on Monday Night Raw, as Batista would come out spitting into the microphone with his V of weird cronies, even though he comes out to the music that says he walks alone. It's really fucking weird, but great character work by Batista. It was awesome. He was pissed off. He was all fired up. Triple H was all fired up. They were both all sweaty. They're going to have a no-holds-barred match. Now, we already don't expect to have a technical masterpiece between these two veterans. That's why we have the no-holds-barred stipulation. We're going to see some guys going through tables. We're going to see some weapons. We're going to see some badass outside of the ring brawling, and it's going to be great. And I'm sure it'll do Batista justice as a last hurrah in the WWE before he shifts his focus back to acting, where he'll be set to start working on Guardians of the Galaxy 3, along with the newly rehired James Gunn. Now, Batista doesn't have a whole lot to gain from winning this match, and to be honest, neither does Triple H. But the fact is that Triple H is the guy who will more than likely be there the next night on Raw, if not the guy who will be there the following week on Raw, and so on and so forth. And since the game doesn't have yet a win over the Animal Batista and is currently sitting at 0-3 against the former 6-time world champion, I am predicting that the game Triple H will be walking out of this match victorious over the Animal Batista. What are your predictions about the so far announced WrestleMania match card? What predictions do you guys have about what matches have yet to be announced for the Showcase of the Immortals? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to drop me a like down below, and if you want more updates like this, don't forget to subscribe for everything else coming at you from the Inways Variety channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later.